Alright, this one shows off a pretty broken strat of Tiger Abomination. Abomination is probably a pet that like no one really uses because I mean it's such a weird one. It swallows the leftmost shot pet if it has a start a battle ability, but when you level it up, it swallows multiple pets. So level 2 is 2 pets, level 3 is 3 pets, but it activates all the abilities at level 1 unless you put a tiger behind it and you level up the tiger. Then it activates based off the tiger's level. Also, just trying to throw this round because I'm going for chicken, and of course, trying to get a whole bunch of draws, have time to actually get the shop to 50-50, just to make things easier and make it as broken as possible. But yeah, so if you have level 3 Tiger behind it, you activate the ability at level 3, which is insane because there are start battle abilities that can be pretty broken when you have level 3. For example, you can have a skunk and a dolphin, and then, like a lynx or something. And the Tiger Abomination would swallow all three of those and activate those abilities with just 2 pets and would absolutely decimate teams. So you can see how this strat has just insane potential to be so good. And when everything is already a 50-50, I mean, it's an absolute pain to set up and took me way too many attempts. But once you actually get it, oh man, it is like, it can be pretty crazy. I guess you only want level 2. You only need like a level 3 and a level 2 to swallow like everything, since you can only swallow 5 things, I guess. But man, that would be pretty crazy. As for the actual start, so this is a custom made pack that specifically has a bunch of starter battle abilities and also is like positioned or set up for draws with like Badger, Hoopo Bird, stuff like that, and then just also things to not really lose the early rounds. Because I guess like that team right there is just ends up being super weak. The difference between like some of the teams in Arena are really hard to judge sometimes when you're trying to set up for draws, even with like a pig in the back, since like the team, I guess just power varies so drastically. It can be really difficult to get draws sometimes. But there we go. There's the Hoopo Bird. It's a tier 3 as well for the Baboon. And yeah, just kind of hoping for as many draws as possible. Random topic I'll bring up in this video. Hades 2 has recently been released. And man, do I love Hades. Hades 1, I played a ton of. I have several hundred hours in that game. If you're looking for like a roguelike, it is just like top tier. I think it's a game that probably everyone talks about or like raves about. Okay, that's maybe too much praise, but everyone generally agrees it's like a really good game. So I would highly recommend. I mean, I did everything there was to do in that game, I feel like. I did the high heat. I beat it at 50 heat, which, I mean, it took me a long time. I only did it just recently because sometimes I'll just occasionally like play the game for fun. And yeah, it took me a long time to beat 50 heat since there's a lot of RNG involved. Looking forward to playing Hades 2, even though I haven't played it yet. I've watched Haley play it a bunch. Seems like a great sequel. They've like kind of kept the core of the game intact, but also added a bunch of new things. There's also just a lot of content in the game already, even though it's early access. So yeah, looking forward to playing that. I'll probably be spending way too much time on it, but yeah, it's really cool. Apparently, Hades was in early access for like a year and 9 months, so it might be a while before the full game is actually released if people are waiting for that. So I'll probably end up playing it soon. Um, and it's also cool just to have like regular updates. I'm sure Super Giants. Like I remember actually, I also watched. There was a documentary, no clip documentary. It's free on YouTube. They do video game documentaries, and they did one about making the process of Hades. If you want to check that out, that was also pretty good. Um, but yeah, so as for the actual run, got early chicken, got whale, so got the shop scaling going. I'm not actually taking abominations yet. I'm kind of waiting, although it can be an issue because even when you get to 50-50 shops, you have to roll, just hard roll for abomination, and sometimes the game is just mean and doesn't really give you what you want because the odds of you finding one specific pet at that late are not amazing. We used to have like an infograph that showed like how many rolls you have and like what tier you're on and your odds of finding a specific pet. And yeah, that was somewhat helpful. I don't know if I remember the exact odds, but level 2 whale, that should help out. And it's 1122. And then alpaca for the level ups. Things are looking alright. Baboon hits the chicken, unfortunate, but really it's just about living with as many lives as possible, and then I can kind of throw these rounds and then just do the best. Oh yeah, alpaca. Okay, good draw from the Hoopo. Clutch stuff from the MVP. um I don't know why I called it the MVP. Basketball's on the mind maybe, but yeah, so alpaca is getting a change, right? In the upcoming test server, I believe it works like, is it triple in battle or something like that? So it was actually, yeah, I guess that's kind of a unique change that would actually be helpful for in battle abilities. But since it only has like one trigger, then it means that you maybe don't want to use the trigger all the time and kind of just leave it. Unless if you level it up, I guess that's another reason to level it up is for like the multiple triggers. Since right now, like level 2 alpaca is usually pretty rare to go for. I don't know in what situation you'd ever go for a level 3 alpaca. Maybe with like a really, even with like a summon team, I don't think it really makes any sense. Yeah, it seems like a very rare thing to go for. But already shop scaling is looking pretty good. I also have Lioness in this pack. Hylian Cow, that's another good start of battle ability. You can see Croc, you can see Praying Mantis. Unfortunately, the Lionfish is not a start of battle ability, so you can't go for that. Leopard is, which is probably the strongest thing you can go for, is just a bunch of Leopard. I guess like Skunk and then Leopard is really what you're looking for, and you could just destroy people. That would be pretty ideal. But you can, I guess, Anubis, I remember checking this, is a start of battle ability, and that can activate Faint Friends. So if you have Tiger level 3, then you can have a Lionfish on the team, and then the Abomination will swallow the Anubis, which will activate the Lionfish. So there's kind of a way, or kind of a reason to actually have it. A Swordfish, another interesting one. You could use that as a start of battle ability. Hawk, I guess, would be okay. There's just so many options, and as long as I can actually survive, I have 3 hearts, so it's looking pretty good. And I mean, unfortunately, it's only a level 1 chicken, but still, like, it can be just so many triggers. I guess level 3 whale is kind of nice. Getting 2/2 and then another 3/3, assuming it actually dies. So 5/5, and then the 6/6 from the lioness. Doesn't really matter too much that I lose that round, although that was Gary Doodlesack. I recognize the name. Actually, I recognize a lot of the names I end up facing in Arena these days. Probably because the player base continues to slowly shrink over time, and the people who are left are like the people, you would recognize as the hardcore players and whatnot. And then the perfect gold interval to get this level 2 chicken, since it gets 2 triggers right there. I had some runs where I was going like tiger, whale, chicken, chicken. That was kind of fun. This one didn't end up being that. But yeah, getting so much shop scaling. Probably going to lose this round. That's okay. Down to lethal. I mean, that's not really okay. But at this point, the shop is big enough where I can kind of just start to transition. And I probably will be fine. A 49-47 Tiger. Also just want Tiger on the team because, I mean, it's going to work with the Abomination eventually. And I'll need some alpacas to try to get the level ups. And hopefully this is just good enough to win. I sold the lioness. Maybe I should have just sold the chicken to play it safer, since at this point the main thing is just not losing. It got rid of my 1-up, but I suppose that wasn't too big of an issue. And I'm only on 4 wins, so I still have 6 turns at least. So we're going till turn 21. Everything looks like it's a 50-50, so I can get rid of the chicken. I can get rid of the... What am I doing? Okay. What? Why am I selling that? Okay, I don't really understand my decisions there. Sure, sell the bigger unit. Why? Why not? And keep the 1-up in front, just in case we want to feed any hurt pets, like an elephant blowfish or something. Good positioning there. Sometimes when I'm playing, I'm like listening to a podcast. I'll just blame it on that, even though I'm not really paying too much attention to the podcast. It's like I'm half listening to it, which is not a great way to listen to a podcast. But yeah, look at this. I mean, Tiger Leopard, just to make sure I don't lose in the meantime here. I don't think there's going to be a lot of teams that beat a team like this. We already have 5 Leopard triggers and then a Lionfish in the back. Yeah, that looks like it's going to clear out that one. Skywave, another recognizable username. So I'm sorry to any teams that have to run into this. But don't care about leveling up the Lion, or the... There we go. There's the Abomination. Don't care about leveling up the Leopard. I don't even really care about equipment at this point, since I'm not worried about losing. Like, there's very few things that would beat a full 50-50 team like this. I do remember I ran into, what was it? Was it just like a Hedgehog, Blowfish, Toad team that beat my 50-50 team that was, like, just starting to set up for Abomination? And I was just utterly surprised. But, yeah, it was like, I think, and then they had... just like they won by like a 1-up or something. It's surprising the things that can beat a 50-50 team. Although I don't think it would be a Tiger Leopard team. But now I'm selling the leopards for abomination, which is perhaps a questionable decision, but you never question when I'm playing the game, because of course every decision that I make is the correct one. Not only in Super Auto Pets, but in life. Do you think there'll ever be a Super Auto Pets 2? I don't know why this randomly popped into my mind, but it would be kind of interesting. Anyway, so it swallows everything left to right, which, to be honest, I didn't actually know. So, lesson learned from here, but I guess it's always good to continue to know things, just in case the one time where I might actually want to use Abomination in the actually good strat. But look at this team, 50-50s, and is super close to beating me, actually. I was so scared for a second there. But yeah, that would have been so tragic to finally get like a good amount of abominations on the team and have level 3 Tiger. Oh yeah, there's this horse thing. I guess that's a start of battle ability, and it turns out a very good one because when it's at 50-50, it gives like I think 50 mana, right? To the frontmost pets. I kind of forget. And I need to actually position here. There we go. So we'll have the tiger behind the abomination that's actually swallowing things. I guess that the stego does absolutely nothing. I probably should have gotten rid of the stego now that I didn't really think about the stego being completely useless as a start of battle. But yeah, 50 mana and then 25 to 2. So, I mean, the 50 mana is just going to be like an insta-kill against pretty much everything, except for, I guess, anything with equipment or behemoths. But looking pretty solid. Now it's just up to this shop RNG to make sure I actually get start of battle abilities. Of course, it's like, how much do you really want to gamble at the start of battles? Like, Highland Cow seems like it's good enough. I mean, Tiger is going to make sure it's just instantly 50-50. There's another horse thing. I guess Croc, Lynx, sure. And then just hoping to roll in the start battle. Don't really get one. But I only need 4 for what I have. So it ends up being good enough anyway. And I already forgot what it swallowed. Oh, there's a Hedgehog Blowfish Toad team. Yeah, this is pretty scary. It has potential to beat me, but luckily I actually found a Highland Cow, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to win by the 50-50. But if I did not have a Highland Cow, I think I might lose. Maybe just draw. Okay, they didn't have anything on the toad in the back, I guess, so it would end up being okay. But now just going to continue. Like, how much do I really want to gamble? Is Lynx good enough? Like, whatever I freeze is instantly going into the left, so I want something that is like a skunk or maybe a kraken so that it activates first, and then the snipers would go afterwards. I guess double kraken would be kind of interesting. The only issue is it could backfire and just absolutely destroy me. Swordfish is interesting. I guess, I don't know if that's entirely worth it. Maybe. Another kraken. Not really finding anything too useful here. And a lynx, yeah, so not great rolls. Turn 21. The front one's not even going to get to do anything, but hopefully this is good enough. Pretty bad, honestly. And a very strong team. With Tiger 1-up, that 1-up is going to be deadly. Wow, it wasn't even close. What a sad, sad finish. I said this team has a ton of potential, right? It doesn't mean it lived up to the potential in this specific run. But that's just because bad shop RNG. Like, I didn't find skunk or something. But yeah, it's a very fun team, and thanks for watching. See ya.